L3 in our MMT team. And
What's going on, guys? What's going on? Ryan McMorris here, and we are going to give you some awesome information tonight. Give you some really cool stuff on this Monday Marketing Mastery. Glad to see everyone here. We got a packed house tonight. That was really cool to see everyone just show up like boom. So that's pretty awesome, guys. So shouts out to you. If you could head over to this fan page, and before we get this thing started, I want you to just clear out your mind real quick. Set the intention. So set your intention for everything that you want to get out of this webinar tonight. Set the intention for everything that you want to learn, everything that you want to accomplish after getting the information that we're going to go over tonight. So make sure you turn off your cell phone. Hop over to this fan page and leave a comment or leave something. If you haven't liked it yet, shoot it a like. If you have not gone over to this fan page yet, you can always go click here and make sure that you click on see first and that you see everything first on this fan page. So we'll get this thing kicked off in a couple minutes, and we'll get rocking and rolling. If you're fired up tonight about growing your business, if you're fired up about 2016 too, leave a comment in the chat. The chat's open. I'll leave the chat open for a while tonight. If you got questions after this webinar, if you got questions for me, this is a good place to get your questions answered, get some free training, and really start pushing your business in the right direction. So again, probably about 5 after we'll get this thing knocked out. We still got some people coming in, so we'll get you guys off and running in about a minute or so. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and set the stage, guys. I've got a really special offer for anyone after this webinar that can add $2,000 to your bottom line. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some pretty cool stuff that I've been doing to show people how they can add $2,000 to their bottom line. That is exclusive giveaway that I've got at the end of this webinar. All right, so what I'll be doing is I'll personally be walking you through that, and I'm going to give that away at the end, so make sure that you stay all the way to the end. Now, I'm going to be showing a video tonight from one of my favorite trainers, Lena Bjorn. She is absolutely cool. Now, when I first started to really take my business seriously, she's one of the trainers that really made a difference in my business. So I picked this special mindset training to help you continue to grow your business through 2016 and keep this month rocking, keep this month going. So without further ado, we're going to get this thing kicked off and make sure that you have good, quiet place, good, a lot of paper. Your pen is brand new and it's got plenty of ink, because when she speaks, she gives a lot of value. So we'll go ahead and get this thing kicked off.
You and everything that you do also for MLSP and the whole community. So I guess I will just take it from here.
Yes, let me just throw in a quick reminder. If you have questions, if you have comments, MLSP fan page is the place to put those. We like to have lots of interaction and get other people who are on Facebook involved. So definitely post your comments, and look, there it is. She already has it right up. And so there you go. Take it away. Thank you so much.
Yeah, great. Okay. Yeah, definitely. If you have never been on our fan page before, the easiest way actually to get to that Facebook fan page is just to type in mlspfanclub.com. That will take you straight to this Facebook page right here. This is also a way to get there, and just type in / My Lead System Pro. So yeah, as you have questions and comments during the course of this training, the best thing to do is to actually just leave them on the page, and we'll see if we can get to some of those at the end of the call. And if not, we don't have time to get to them all, then what I will do is just to stick around for a little while after the webinar is over and actually address those on the fan page and just respond to you in writing on the page itself. So you will get your questions answered, no worries. And I have somebody here telling me, I think his name is Mike. It says 106 degrees in Phoenix. Wow. Even hotter than here, but it's good to be here. It's good to be here on the call with everyone. I'm so excited to be part of My Lead System Pro. Once again, I'll share a little bit about my story here in a moment, but let me see, I want to make sure. Yeah, okay, you see my screen there and my slides. Okay, very good. Let's keep going. So yeah, what I'm going to be covering here, I'm going to do just a very quick intro, since this is my first training webinar that I do here for My Lead System Pro, and I want to make sure that you just, just kind of a little bit of an introduction, not too long. But as Rock said here a minute ago, what I want to talk about is really specifically, practically, very practical steps. How can you get out of your comfort zone, okay? Because this is all about mindset. And in order to get different results, you have to start out thinking differently, right? Different mindset produces different actions, produce different results. And we'll get to that in a moment. And as I've been promising here for a couple of days, I'm going to show you a weird little trick that I call playing a character. And that is a trick taught me by one of my millionaire mentors, multimillionaire mentors. His name is Jimmy, friend of mine, Jimmy. I'm going to share that with you toward the end of the call. It's a very cool little, sneaky little trick that you can use to come across more leader-like in your marketing. All right, so we are going to get to all of that here very shortly. Now, just a very quick introduction in case we have never met and you have absolutely no clue who I am. There you have a picture to go with the voice and the name. Again, my name is Lina Bjorna, and I have been an industry top earner for the past 3 years. I'm a 5 times award-winning marketer. I have sponsored reps, personally sponsored reps in more than 20 countries now on 5 continents. And originally, I am from a small city above the Arctic Circle in the country of Norway, where it gets very cold in the winter, which is part of the reason why I moved. And I have been living now actually in Los Angeles since 1995. Last year, my husband and I actually purchased and moved into our dream home. And yeah, that dream home does have a pool. Like I said, I just got out of the pool. That was always one of my dreams, to have a nice house with a pool. So yeah, it's really just a result really of the success that we have achieved in this industry. And you can learn more about me and what I have to offer, free marketing strategies and tips right there on my blog if you're interested. But the reason I'm sharing this with you is just to establish a little bit of credibility here before I get started, and just to kind of set the stage for what I will be sharing here over the next 60 minutes or so. You know, when you when you change on the inside, your results follow. When you are willing to work on your mindset and yourself, okay, that's when change starts to happen on the outside, in your life, in your business, just your life overall, okay? So these kind of results that I've achieved over the last few years, now, I struggled hard to get there, and I am one of those typical struggling, past struggling MLMers, you know, who did everything you were supposed to do and never got the results. And then I discovered attraction marketing. MLSP is part of that story as well. I'm going to jump over to the next slide here and say a little bit more about my involvement with MLSP. But yeah, so, you know, getting the tools and the resources absolutely helped, you know, to get me there. But more than anything, it was a change on the inside. It was a commitment to personal growth. Okay, so I'm going to share with you some of the strategies that I myself have learned and implemented and gotten results from on this call here tonight, and I'm sure on future total transformation webinars as well. I do have another one scheduled here in a few weeks also. But all right. This picture that you see right here is a little bit fuzzy, but hopefully you can see that is me and with Norbert and Brian, co-founders of My Lead System Pro. This picture here was actually taken back in, oh gosh, 2008. This was before My Lead System Pro was even created. Okay, I don't know if it was conceived of, maybe it was, but there was no My Lead System Pro back at the time. I knew Norbert and Brian, we were with the same primary company, and here we are at a conference, hanging out at a conference there, just kind of still newbies. None of us had really had our big breakthrough yet. And so I know these guys from like way back. And when they took off and started My Lead System Pro back in 2008, I was actually in the first batch of members with My Lead System Pro. But I didn't do a whole lot with it. I know I stayed to subscribe to the training and continued to implement the attraction marketing strategies that I learned into my business. And this was part of the reason why I started doing so well with my primary company. Within a year, I became the #1 female earner with that primary company that I was with at the time. But I didn't really use the system, but the training, again, I dug into the training and continued to use that in my business month after month, really for several years. And then, actually, this is a more recent picture from just a few months back at the No Excuses Summit, where MLSP had a booth, and here I am with Brian again. So I've stayed in touch with these guys, and I came back to My Lead System Pro as a established, successful industry leader, and the reason for that is simply this, okay? At My Lead System Pro, it's about helping you grow as a leader, and that is so incredibly important. I mean, there is just no substitute for that. Just having watched My Lead System Pro and the growth and the commitment that they have to develop leaders and give you the tools that you require to succeed, I came back and started again from scratch in January of this year, and hit L3 very quickly. I'm sure it'll soon be L4 and L5. None of that matters to you for any other reason than I want you to know that if you have any doubt whatsoever whether you are in the right place at the right time, yes, you are. Okay, this is where it's happening. This is where leaders are being developed. This is where you are getting the strategies and the tools and the system and just support, just in case you haven't discovered that yet. Okay, you can be confident that you are in the right place. Leadership, it's what it's all about. Becoming that leader that other people are going to want to follow. Okay, that's what success in network marketing is all about. Attraction marketing, more specifically. All right. So that's why I came back. Anyway, yeah. So let's talk a little bit about that comfort zone, that darn comfort zone, and specific action steps that you can take to get out of that comfort zone and grow. Okay, grow on a personal level so that you can grow your results. Okay, grow your income. Now, this is just a really cool visual, I think, that I stumbled across online, and I just think this is just really awesome because it just describes exactly what personal growth is all about, right? We got this little comfort zone over here, and this is where most people find themselves, right? And this is kind of where we are by default, right? We are here by default, just living in this little box and kind of doing what's expected of us and just going through the daily routine and never really, doing too much that's like out of the ordinary, right? That's like 99% of the population, okay? But that's not where the magic happens, right? The magic happens over here, outside of the comfort zone. So if you want to live an extraordinary life, if you want to live a purpose-filled life, if you want to live a kind of life that you can look back on and just, you're 70, 80, 90 years old, and you can look back on your life and just think to yourself, I did it all. I did everything I was supposed to do. I did everything I was meant to do. And I lived life to the fullest. I don't know about you, but that's the kind of life that I want to live, and I'm committed to live. Anybody with me on that? Let me show me by the raise of a hand. You all should have a hand there next to your name. Be able to raise your hand. Is everybody with me? Okay, cool. I see a lot of hands going up. So that's the kind of life that we strive for, right? I think it's that's the entrepreneurial mindset. We want to live big lives. Okay, we don't want the small life, the routine life, right? So that's what it's all about, really. Personal growth is getting yourself out of this tiny little circle right here and getting yourself over here where the magic happens, right? I'm going to get back to this visual in a moment because I think it is just a fantastic visual, and I'm going to bring it up again here in a little bit as I go about sharing a little bit more. But what I want to do here, I want to share just a little story here from my own life because it's so super relevant to what we are talking about here today. If you hear me pausing and maybe you hear me sipping from my glass, it's so hot. And I'm actually having some fresh lemon juice here from our lemon tree. So I'll try not to slurp too much. Anyway, so this right here, this is actually me several years back. One thing I didn't mention in my intro is I actually have a background also in acting. I dabbled in acting for on and off, probably for about 10 years after I moved to California in 1995. I really just enjoyed, being on stage and being in front of the camera, playing different roles. And that's what I did before I got bitten by the MLM bug. Okay, now acting, working in Hollywood can be very, very challenging. Okay, very, very challenging, very competitive. I'm sure you can imagine, at least as competitive as being a network marketer. Yeah, so a little story here about something that happened, and I promise I have a point here I want to get across. Now, what I ended up doing between acting gigs, because it wasn't all that easy to get work, okay, in order to just make ends meet in between jobs, what I would do was to clean houses, okay? I worked as a housekeeper and cleaned houses in between my gigs. Now, one day, here's something that happened. That's okay, it's a true story. And I know I have some of my personal customers on the call here. You read this in my book, and you know this story, but I want to share with everyone because I think it has a good point related to the topic of today's call. But yeah, so I remember this very, very specifically. Okay, I remember it as it was yesterday. I'm driving home from this cleaning job. Okay. Clean this house. I'm in my car. I'm driving home. I was just living in a small apartment at the time. So my cell phone rings, right, as I'm in my car and driving, and I pick up the phone, and it's a casting director. Okay, it's a casting director who's calling me. Somebody I've never spoken to before. I had no idea who she was, but she started, after introducing herself, she started asking me all these questions. Okay. Weird questions. She asked me, Tina, I was wondering, do you have any plans for the next few days that you cannot get out of? And she started asking me, do you have kids? Do you have pets? Okay. And all these questions she was asking me, my answer to every single one was no. I didn't have pets. I didn't have kids. I didn't have any commitment that I couldn't get out of. Okay. And I had no idea where she was going with this. And then she's casting director. She tells me, okay, I have a job. I have a gig. And I was wondering if there's any way that you could do this. Okay, I'm in desperate need of a photo double. Okay, if you don't know what a photo double, real quick here, side note, a photo double is not an acting job, but it is the person who will like sit in for, the star and do all that work that the star doesn't want to do because it's uncomfortable or it's hot or it's tiring. And a lot of the time when you watch movies, you don't even know that you're watching a photo double. You think it's the actor, but it's really a photo double that's dressed up to look like the actor. And they film them from like far off or, from the back or whatever. And it's not really the actor, it's the photo double, okay? Who's doing all that boring, tiring, work that the star doesn't want to do, okay? So that's what a photo double is. So she said to me, okay, I desperately need a photo double for, and then she said the name of some actress, and that kind of rang a bell. I wasn't quite sure, who this person was, but I thought it sounded familiar, the name. And she said, oh, and it's just some small independent movie. It's nothing big. It's just a small independent indie flick. And here's the thing, though. Okay, my photo double has gotten sick, and I need somebody to fly out to Phoenix, Arizona. I think that was Mike here on the call. It says he's in Phoenix. Okay, so you're going to be able to relate to this, I think. So she said, the thing is, I need you, if you take this job, I need you to fly out to Phoenix, Arizona tomorrow. Okay, it's a 3-day gig. And here's the thing, okay? I just got to say it as it is. She said, you are going to be working in the desert, okay? It's going to be probably about 110 degrees. You will be wearing a wig, and you are going to be inside a small bus that has no air condition. That's what you're going to be working in, a small, non-air conditioned bus with a wig in the Arizona desert in 110 degrees. Do you want the job? Okay, so my first reaction, and I didn't say this, but my first reaction was, ugh, do I want this job? And every little ounce of my sense and reasoning said, no, no, no. Right? And I thought, that sounds horrible. So I didn't say that to the casting director. I just said, can I think about it for maybe a couple of hours and get back with you? And she was, oh, sure, of course. And I think she just thought to herself that she's not going to call back. But anyways, here I am. So I'm driving home, and I'm thinking about this job that I've been offered. And I'm driving home to my husband, told my husband, and my dear, dear, dear husband, who's so encouraging always, he said, go for it. Maybe it's not going to be that bad. Hey, you never know what's going to happen, and it can be actually fun. So long story short, okay, I decided, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and do it, And he was like, I had these, 2 voices going on inside my head. One that's like, be adventurous, do it, step outside your comfort zone. You never know what's going to happen. Maybe you make a lot of money. Maybe you get discovered, blah, 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 right? And then there's other voice that's like, my little you. I often refer to as big you and little you. Now my little you who's telling me not to do it and coming up with all these different reasons why I shouldn't take the job, okay? It's going to be hot. It's going to be uncomfortable. I won't make a lot of money. It's not going to be worth it. I rather want to be home. And right? You probably have experienced something similar in your own life if you ever, faced with those type of choices, right? But long story short, I ended up taking the job. Next day, I jumped on a plane with a bunch of other, photo double, stand-in, crew, actors. None of the stars were there, but I got on. I took the job. Okay, now this job Okay, this movie, maybe some of you already guessed it. This movie is called Little Miss Sunshine. I don't know if, who's heard of Little Miss Sunshine here on the call? Show me where raise of hands. I wonder if you have heard of that movie. This movie, okay, this movie turned out to become a major blockbuster movie. This was back in 2006. Okay, but when I worked on the movie, nobody had any idea. You know, it was just some small independent movie. But this movie ended up being nominated for many Oscars, Academy Awards, and actually wound up winning several Academy Awards. Little Miss Sunshine, super popular movie. Everybody was talking about it back in 2006. But I didn't know that when I took the job. Okay, now, okay. Did the movie make me famous? No. Did it make me a ton of money? No. I did end up making some really good money, though, enough really to go on a very nice vacation to Niagara Falls with my husband. So, but more importantly, okay, here is really the point that I want to get across. Guess what? I had the best time of my life working on that movie. Of all the movies and TV shows that I worked on during my time in Hollywood, and there were many, okay, just all non-speaking roles, nothing big, you know, most of it just little stuff, but worked with a lot of stars and worked on a lot of shows and movies that you would know about if I gave you their names. But of all those jobs, this is the one that I will always remember as the most fun experience I've ever had working in the movies. Was it hot with the wig? Yeah, it was hot, but was it unbearable? No, not at all. They gave us these little hand fans, so we were able to stay cool. They were making sure we had cool drinks, and you know, it really wasn't bad at all. It wasn't near as bad as I had expected it to be. I had got my own suite at the Hilton, completely just all on my own. Now, this was a big deal for somebody who was just working as a housekeeper at the time and making very little money, right? You know, all the food you could eat, you know, for days, and we were treated like royalty, and it was just the funnest experience I have ever had. Okay, and I think you're starting to kind of get where I'm going with this. What I did when I made the choice to accept this job with a little bit of help from my husband was I decided to shut up the little you and listen to the big you, and step outside of my comfort zone, right? I was in here, and I was planning to just stay here, kind of back and forth, right? Having that internal discussion. And then I ended up moving over here, and what happened? Magic happened. I had an awesome experience. I made some pretty good money. I created a great memory for myself that is super fun to look back on. Little Miss Sunshine became a big hit. It's really fun to think about, think of the fact that I actually worked on that movie. Okay? Really, really cool. So I wanted to just share that story with you because, you know, this is what life is. You know, so much of our lives are like this, right? Like every single day, you know, we're faced with opportunities, we're faced with choices, you know, little you, big you, who do I listen to, right? Okay. And when you do listen to the big you and take action, that is truly when you start experiencing extraordinary results in your life and in your business. So, the big question, right? How do you actually get yourself to move out of your comfort zone and do that which you know that you should do, right? I'm going to see if I can make this very practical for you guys, right? So we know that we have to get uncomfortable in order to experience, you know, to live the kind of big life that we want to live, right? But how do we actually go about getting ourselves to move out of our comfort zone? So I want to share with you something that's really worked for me over the last several years as I have gone through a tremendous, really a lot of growth, okay? Of course, it goes without saying that to experience the kind of results that I have achieved, I had to go through a growth period, and so does every single one of you. So And now is the time to take notes if you are taking notes, all right? It really starts with awareness, okay? And see, here you are already miles ahead, as entrepreneurs, as up and coming leaders. You're already miles ahead. Like 99% of the people out there, they don't even know that they're, stuck inside the comfort zone, that they aren't living life to the fullest, that they aren't getting everything or achieving everything that they could achieve in life. They're not even aware of it because they don't, read the books that you read. They don't show up on the calls that you show up on. They're not entrepreneurs, right? Or entrepreneurs in the making. They don't even know. You guys know, okay? You are in the right place. You are here in My Lead System Pro, in this community where it's all about personal growth and helping you become the big you. So you already have this. And if you didn't have that awareness before you came to this webinar, at least you do now, right? You know that it's an internal battle that every single one of us has to go through. But it's one that you can win. That's the good news. We'll get to that here in a second. But yeah, so it starts with that awareness. And once you are aware, okay, you are aware that this is, something that you have to go through as part of your personal growth. When you are faced with that choice, right, of who you should listen to, the little you or the big you, okay? And that's just what I choose to call them. And I think you kind of know what I'm talking about. We all have, from time to time, we have that little voice in our head, right? The negative voice telling us we can't do something or shouldn't, be adventurous, or give the voice that's giving you all the excuses, right? That's the little you. And then the big you, right? That's the voice that tells you to take a chance, take a risk, do it, go for it. That's what I'm referring to here. So once you have the awareness, which you do now, is to then, next time when you're faced with that choice of who you're going to listen to, you're going to recognize it. You're going to recognize it as one of those situations, right, where you have to make a choice. And when you are at that crossroad, or you can go one way or you can go another way, you're presented with an opportunity, okay? But it's kind of risky and you're not so sure, do I dare to do this? I'm talking about stupid risks, okay? We all have to take entrepreneurial risks, educated risk every single day, but, I'm talking not about, dumb stuff, okay? But, when you have an opportunity in front of you, okay, and you have a choice, go for it or leave it, right? Now, here's what you want to do in that situation is to remind yourself of your why, okay? In most of those situations, when you are faced with that choice, listen to little you or big you, you'll know. You will know in your heart, you'll know in your gut that making the bigger choice, listening to big you, is going to be something that's going to take you closer to your dreams, right? That's usually what happens when we, go for it, right? So you want to remind yourself of your why when you are in that situation, right? You got to be clear on your why you are in this industry, why you are doing what you are doing, what's driving you, what's getting you up every day, every morning, and getting you, over to your computer, to your phone, or however you work your business, right? That's your why, who or what you are doing it for. And let me tell you, it's got to be beyond the financials, it's got to be beyond the money. It's got to be something bigger than that, or your why is not, big enough to keep you going. But when you are in that situation, ask yourself, okay, what is this choice? If I take this opportunity, is this going to take me closer to my goals? Is it going to take me closer to realizing my why, to accomplishing what I want to accomplish in life? And most of the times, the answer is going to be yes. That is the decision that's going to take you closer, right? The big decision. Then you know what to do, right? When you think about it like that, you're going to become very, very clear about what it is that you need to do in that situation. What is the right choice in order for you to accomplish your dreams. And another thing that I really recommend that you do is just to consider for a moment you know, that feeling of regret.